Let's jump right into this, family, specifically my YouTube family. Hope that my audio quality is good. Listen, welcome to Trauma Drinker with myself, Romeo Jones. This and many more are YouTube exclusives. And this is Trauma Drinker. Hello and welcome to Trauma Drinker, where we systematically heal the pain behind the pour. This is something that I've been actively doing for, if you ask me, since 2015. And I make this video on March 2nd, 2026. I have been dismantling this thing, but hey, listen, today makes 11 months alcohol free for me, and I'm celebrating with you all. Let's see if I can just share. I don't have any notes. That's gonna change because the ranting, as joyful as it's been, I really want to become systematic in my approach with the content that I create to help you. But today makes 11 months alcohol free, guys. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord Jesus Christ. You hear me? And listen, whether you believe in Jesus Christ or not, whatever God you believe in or no God, if you're questioning your relationship with alcohol, wondering if your life would be better, that's where I was in 2023. Wow, 3 years ago next month. I had this hunch after started drinking socially in 2007. I was a junior in high school, and I started to use it, as I look back, to escape 2 years later as a senior, a couple weeks before my 19th birthday, a couple months before graduating high school. And it spiraled out from there. But again, I want to make this video short and sweet for you. And 11 months alcohol free. You all listen, my previous best was 10 months. And it was for one reason. My high school sweetheart, who we could say was the girl of my dreams, right? But sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone. In terms of relationships and having a wonderful, pure woman by my side, who is also a Christian, she's beautiful on the outside. I was in 11th grade. Look at all these 11s when I met her. And I would tell her this as we began dating later in life. I would say, babe, you're going to be late for your own funeral. That's how often late she was. But I was sitting in my English class, and she came through the door late, and I was just, you know the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey? If you don't, it's a good movie to this day. But you remember when the mask would be on and the eyeballs would just pop out his head? My eyeballs popped out, and I was like, that's Princess Jasmine in the flesh. You don't know who Princess Jasmine is, you should watch the movie Aladdin, a Disney classic, one of my favorites, and you all know I love my Disney classics. But in any event, this woman was by my side, and due to my relationship with alcohol, I eventually lost her. It wasn't due to her loyalty. She was very loyal. I was the disloyal one in many regards, an unfaithful one. And that began to rub off on her. And if you ask me, attraction isn't a choice. When you're dating someone that has certain habits and things going on in their life, like drinking, and when that is due to a identity, we'll get into that later. But your core self-worth identity is built on a lie. So you drink to escape that. After a while, she was begging for years, okay? I lost her. I was like a 19-year-old kid who signed a multi-million-dollar athletic contract, and you just don't know, and you're spending the money, and you catch my drift, okay? When my father was struggling with his self-worth and suicide, I was drunk. And when he called me and asked for help in a financial area, I shamed him. I'm at peace with my dad. Okay, may he rest in peace. I've been broke. I've been homeless. I was addicted while going through that homelessness and brokenness. It was a lot. But I say all that to say I never gave up hope. Okay, there was a lot of dark moments. And no matter how much doubt I was faced with, by the grace of God, I never gave up hope in my darkest valleys, okay? homeless in my city, sleeping on the Chicago Transit Authority. We call it CTA. Okay? Yes, riding the red line from the south end, 95th, all the way to the north end, Howard, back and forth. It's about a 90-minute ride one way, about an hour and 20 one way. So round trip, 240, right? You do that 3 times in a night, the sun comes up and the people going to work again, and then I go about my life. But in any event, you all, I tried the AA method, right? This was in 2000, traditional method, and we gonna shout out Bill Wilson and the other guy who founded AA back in the 1930s or 40s. You know, forgive me, don't forgive me. I don't know the exact, but it was in the 1930s or 40s when they created this. Okay, and it's 2026, and people are still relying on this method. I want to show you a new method that worked for me. Okay, you see this? This is a 24-hour AA coin. They give you this at 24 hours, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then I think 6 months, then 1 year, 2 years. And the moment you have a relapse, okay, it's another word that we're going to work with. And the methodology that worked for me, we use that as a data point, simply as information. When you have, let's say, 90 days alcohol free, right, sober, and you relapse, they're not going to take your coins off. Those coins are going to empower you, all right, to get alcohol free. I had 1,000 relapses, 1,000 startovers, 1,000 day ones before I ever arrived here. And I know I'm a little all over the place, so let me slow it down. This video is already at 7 minutes and I'm shooting for 11. We're probably going to go longer, whatever. 2017, that beautiful woman I told you about, and actually I gave her the nickname Princess MK. MK is her initials. All that begging and crying she was doing for me to change, she would tell me. We would be in the bathtub together. I know we weren't married, but we were young and we were learning. And she would cry in the tub and say, babe, my feelings for you are changing. She was giving me some insight that I was taking lightly. Okay, babe, tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, babe, let me, wash your back tomorrow. Well, those tears dried. Tomorrow never came. And when I realized that, it's a little detailed how I really realized that, I dug into something that my sales manager, Jimbo, led me to, but I didn't take it seriously. I went to what I knew best, which was AA. I used the AA method, and I did the 90 meetings in 90 days. Actually, I think I did 112 meetings in 90 days. 2 of those days, I went to 3 meetings in a day. And I got 10 months alcohol free. I did it for Princess MK. I wanted her back, but she was happy for me. And in the midst of that 10 months, some things went down that was, it was done. Okay, essentially it was done. I wasn't ready to recover from my choices. And I did it for Jimmy. Right, Jimbo. Jimmy bet on me when the house, the dealership, he was my sales manager. They weren't betting on me. The owner, who I got the job from, I was caddying for the guy, and he wanted me to sell cars for him. I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. 2 9-to-9s per week, not interested, dude. He showed me his guy, a top guy named Ricky E. Just for privacy, I'm not going to say his last name, but Ricky made like $32,000 in a month, and my eyes boop, popped out of my head again. And I was like, what? Then he showed me his IT guy jumped on the sales floor, made 14 grand in a month. This was in July of 2015, right? Big Dog had sold his BMW dealership in Sherryville and bought a Ford dealership in Gurnee, Illinois. I said, I'm in. In November, I went to sell cars for him. I did it for Jimmy. The other sales manager and Big Dog, they were like, we ain't dealing with him. We running a multi-million-dollar operation that's dealing with cars, and this guy has a drinking problem. Jimmy said, no, I'm betting on him. So look at the 2 core reasons why I had stopped with this data from 2017. My ex-girlfriend, good reason to stop, but not enough. And my sales manager, who bet on me. These were powerful whys for me in that 10 months, but that's the longest I had went. And then after 10 months, I had something went down where I quit the dealership, and I thought I was going to have a drink. And I went right back into the picture plant. I'll break down for you that. I will break down the pitcher plant analogy for you in another video, okay? But it's symbolism for when you start drinking alcohol, how you're ultimately a fly on a pitcher plant, and you think you're going to be able to fly away, and this is to different degrees, but I digress. 10 months was my last personal best, and that was from 2000. That was from June 27th, 2017, until around April 27, 28, something like that, of 2018. All right. Make a long story short, y'all. I picked up this book in October of 2022. I was drunk out of my mind, like I always was, and I it was so good that the little bit of concentration that I had, I decided to sober up, right? So between October 28th and November 10th, I was lengthening, meaning consuming less and less and less, and putting nutrients into my body to just get it out of my, if you know, you know how it is when you drinking a lot of alcohol. I was a spirit kind of guy, no wine, no beer. I'm talking Tito's to the head, uh, Grey Goose to the head, Crown Royal to the head, hard alcohol to the head. No chaser, no rocks, no none of that. All right. And this book opened up my eyes, right? This Naked Mind, Control Alcohol, Find Freedom, Discover Happiness, and Change Your Life. I have done that, okay? Now, I told you I picked up this book in 2022. Here we are in 2026, and I'm just at 11 months. So this doesn't happen overnight. Hands down, the hardest challenge, the most challenging mountain I have ever climbed in my life. But I tell you, I am not an alcoholic. If you're struggling with alcohol, I challenge you to embrace the idea that you aren't an alcoholic, and understanding that alcohol is a highly addictive substance that is a poison. It's a known carcinogen. You are not a bad person because you cannot have a healthy relationship with it. Very normal when you start to have some mind shifts and some heart shifts, okay? So, with that being said, 6 months after I read that book, I was so curious about my drinking that in 2023, right before my 33rd birthday, I started this little journal where, as you can see, 2023, starting in April 22nd, I started to just color drinking days red and alcohol-free days green. I'm going to break this down really deep on however I do this. If you look at this channel, it's essentially been a journal in the form of a vlog on YouTube. And I continue to do that in 2024. And you can very quickly notice patterns, right? Once I start, okay, there's a saying that I love. I believe it's from Fitzgerald, the guy who wrote The Great Gatsby. First you take a drink, then the drink takes a drink, then the drink takes you. Very symbolic to my relationship with alcohol. And for people who don't have any major problems with alcohol, still pay attention to when you consume. It reminds me of my auntie Casey. She's a bartender, but by any means would you say she's a problem drinker. But when she does consume, let's say it's her birthday, she always wakes up in the morning and says, "Ooh, I'm not doing that again," because one turns to two, two turns to four, four turns to eight, and then everything becomes a blur. Listen, my name is Romeo Jones. There's a medicine on my heart. And all I've been talking about is drinking. The reason that I drank stems directly from my childhood. I was, as a child, we could say a hostage to a term that's used loosely, but my mother lacked empathy to the point that, and this is for me, not for her, not for anybody, for me, she has some narcissistic tendencies, okay, that I would say are on the disorder end of the spectrum, okay? And narcissism isn't a horrible thing. Listen, I know, listen, okay? But the most narcissistic being on the earth is an infant. All an infant cares about is its needs. But if that infant has healthy development, right? Healthy dependence leads to healthy independence, right? Think of birds in a nest, right? But if you don't ever get that healthy dependence with a parent, you're just not healthy as an independent. So I haven't even tapped on the trauma yet. I really just want to make a video for this 11-month mark. I'm so happy, and I'm celebrating with you. Annie Grace has a program called The Path. That's actually a kit that she sends you when you join it, and that's who I celebrate with. My Path coaches and my Path mates, all right? And you can do this. And in this 11 months, I'm telling you, my aunt, Auntie Nini, she shared this when I was dating Princess MK. She would come to me and say, "That girl has those rose petal glasses on. It reminds me of me when I was young. And anything you do, you could take a poop on the floor. She'd look at it with those glasses and she's going to see and smell roses." She said, enjoy that, because if those glasses ever come off, she's going to see a lot of your behavior for what it is. And sure as sure, that happened. Okay? And why did I even bring that up, right? I'm going to have notes moving forward, you all. But in any event, my household lacked a lot of empathy. And I loved my mother so much that I stuffed myself in an attempt to achieve conditional love, something that you don't want to achieve to begin with. You want to achieve unconditional love within yourself if you never got it externally. At some point, y'all, we have to grow up. My homeboy D would say that everyone grows older, not everyone grows up. In the midst of me being alcohol free, sober, as the world would call it, I don't like that. I don't resonate with that term, because if you let's say you had to do 16 years in jail. Once you got free, I don't think you'd say I'm sober from jail. You'd say I'm a free man, and ideally, don't do what you did to go back. Okay, all right. So I'm excited to just share that part with you. April 7th, 2009, which would be 17 years in a couple weeks, is when a, just some events happened at my home, where I left home at the tender age of 18. And as my mother would say, I'm going to let life show you. And life showed me. It did. And I haven't began to recover from that hit, from that situation, from that circumstance, until the last 11 months. And I'm able to, I know why I brought up the rose petal glasses, because I was able to see a lot of those events from my childhood without the rose petal glasses of, I love my mommy, and how could she do this to me, and why wasn't I enough? That was my main question. Why wasn't I enough? It had nothing to do with me. Nothing. But our adversary, my adversary, I'm not going to even include you on that one, works in really, really slithery, slimy ways. Okay? But that's a whole nother talk. That ain't Trauma Drinker talk. That's Romeo Jones talk. But we're going to focus on one thing at a time. And that's Trauma Drinker, where we heal the pain behind the pour. And I want you to know something. All right? As I begin to unpack this thing, it's a lot. All right? I've got a full-time job. I still have my own anxieties. And how am I going to do this? Like, how is me going to coach people? I know that I can. I'm already doing it. When I show up to my path classes, people are like, yeah, dude, you need to be coaching, and you're an inspiration. Trauma Drinker is a lens. Remember those glasses I tell you about? It's a lens to see your drinking through. It is not a label. We've done enough with labels. If you're gonna associate with any label, associate to the non-drinker label. I remember when before I started drinking in my teens, I would look at people and I would just be like, wow. I mean, it's not crack, even though you're acting real fiendish, like a dope fiend. Whatever's in that bottle, I never want to drink it, because if it tastes that good that you'll drink it at the sacrifice of losing your wallet and using your phone, and then blaming people for losing your wallet and your phone, and attacking people who was trying to get you to stop drinking, like, I'm good. But in my upperclassmen years, junior year, senior year, it was this fun social drug, and that pitcher plant process kicked in. So I am I'm at 19 minutes, you all. I just wanted to celebrate with you, get this video up. I haven't made a video since New Year's, I believe. New Year's, December I made 8 months, January 9 months, and I've really just I'm still healing myself, you all. I still have to like pinch myself, like, this is real. I work at Chili's right now, y'all. I'm a chili head, right? I work as a waiter, as a server. And what do we sell at cheap? What is our core for at Chili's? Margaritas. First off, margaritas, fajitas, chicken crispers, and juicy burgers. All right, back to the first one, margaritas. I'm gonna lead for margarita sales this month, right? It's March 2026. We call that Margarita Madness at our Chili Heads locations, and I get to observe the effects. Now listen, y'all, I'm not forcing this margaritas down these people's throat. They will be buying them with or without me. I know that don't justify it. It is not in dignity with my calling, but it is a great opportunity for me to grow, all right? Not in sales, but in dealing with people and watching my triggers arise, okay? And not allowing my disposition to be dictated by another person's disposition, okay? But that's another topic. In the midst of that, I know that what's going to fulfill me right now at this point in my life and purpose is to help people overcome this. And yeah, I had some other things, but I showed you what I wanted to show you. I ran that calendar I had, it ran out. So then I got a new one, and Annie Grace has a version of this in your momentum journal of that. Well, I said your, but if you ever were to join the path, reach out to me. I could talk to you all about it. It's phenomenal. It's not inexpensive. It's not inexpensive at all, but you know, where there's a will, there's a way. All right, I did it on unemployment. So where there's a will, there's a way. When I was broke, I found a way to drink. I'll tell you that much. Okay. So welcome to Trauma Drinker. And on April 7th this year, I'm launching this thing. I work full time. Well, I told them I want part time hours, but they need so much help. They're giving me full time hours, but it's work. It's my time in my secret place, this very room right here, with my God, all right, and Trauma Drinker, okay, and sharing my message of alcohol freedom using the This Naked Mind methodology. I'll close with this. Annie Grace released her sequel to this book with Live Naked AF, a joyful approach to living alcohol free, and AF means alcohol free. And she hosted a book club, and I was able to talk to her on Zoom, and she's an amazing woman, just like her writing. Just like I thought she would be, based on her writing. Um, there was a time when I couldn't afford the path, so I'd read her newsletter. I still read her newsletter. She's a phenomenal writer, but her mission was to really get people to, in a nutshell, like discover their own naked mind. That mind that didn't need substance to drown out reality. All right? And I'm on that same mission here. And I just want to thank you. You know, just drop a comment below, man. I really love you all. I know I don't know you. I don't have to know you. You are my brother in spirit. You are my sister in spirit. Whether you believe that or not, it's take it for what it's worth to you. It means a lot to me. So, couple weeks, y'all. Today's Sunday. Tuesday is 2 weeks from April 7th, and I really plan to do this systematically, not just ranting, but putting my story down on paper, seeing where I can create value, offer that to you in the form of resources, and share my journey with you. I'm so excited. 11 months, y'all. I gave you all that backstory to say I have never been this long alcohol free. That 10 months, it wasn't for me. This time it was only for me. That other time it was using the I am an alcoholic, I'm a diseased person. I mean, even Jesus Christ said, let the sick proclaim that I am healed. So to show up and say I am an alcoholic, it's not very empowering. This naked mind methodology is nothing but empowering. You are not an alcoholic if you can even just I know it's a lot in the beginning. I told you it wasn't a lot for me because I never resonated with that. What I did resonate with was the community of AA. Okay, I was learning from people that, yeah, I had lost my girlfriend, but this guy had lost his grandkids, right? He broke up with his wife, and now the grandkids are seeing grandma and grandpa in a split home. Yeah, I lost 30 grand fighting cases and just ludicrousness. But this guy lost a business that he said was netting $300,000 a month. Netting, not grossing, netting. That's $3.6 million a year. Net. Whoa, I'm ahead of the game. That was in 2017. I was 27. I'll be 36 next month. I really believe and I know that I have the credentials from a what does my coach Andy call it? A quack, if you will, right? I don't have any certifications in this, and even when I get them, it has nothing on my real life experience. So again, I love you all. If this resonates with you, tune in because I'm really going to be unpacking this vigilantly. This is my calling. Love you all. Much love. Until next time.